Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome as always to our coffee times where we discuss books and horror. And today I'm here to talk to you about small reading plans for 2024.
It's coffee time!
So I was thinking I wanted to do more challenges and more interesting videos in 2024, and I saw some people posting on Instagram that they were doing this challenge that was 12 books by 12 friends for 2024. So basically this challenge is to ask 12 friends to give you book recommendations. It can be something that they enjoyed themselves and really loved, so one of their favorites, or it can be a book that they think that you will really enjoy. And so I thought that was a really interesting idea and fun. And also because you get 12 recommendations, it's obviously one for each month, which is something that should be doable for me. And I always wanted to ask people for book recommendations anyway, and I thought this was the perfect way of doing it and figure it out if maybe some of my friends' favorite books are also something that I will enjoy or not. So anyways, I asked 12 of my booktube favorites to give me some of their recommendations, and I've come up with a list. So here are the 12 books that were recommended to me. I am also going to leave all the people that I have mentioned listed in the description down below and a link to their YouTube channels so that you can check them out. They're all great and they all have great book content if you're looking for more people to follow. First, we have Amy. So Amy McCall, you've seen her in my lives. I've been in her lives many times before, and I asked her to recommend me a book. So she recommended Stein Tinglers by Errol Stein, which is a compilation of middle grade short horror stories, and it is new and I have not read it yet, so I thought this was a great idea because I have been meaning to read more Errol Stein, even though rumor has it that maybe not everything that's new by him might be really written by him, but nevertheless, I am really excited to give this one a try. Next, we have Alex, and she has the beautiful channel The Bookabus, and she has amazing videos, especially book hauls from vintage horror paperbacks. She reads so much like vintage horror. I get so many amazing recommendations from her, and I was excited to see what she was going to recommend, and she did recommend a vintage horror book. She recommended What's Wrong with Valerie by D.A. Fowler. Lucky for me, there is a re-edition, I think from 2019, that it's available on Amazon, so I'm gonna be grabbing that copy, and I'm really excited to see if I'm gonna enjoy this one. I particularly do enjoy vintage horror. It has a different kind of vibe, and I'm super excited for this one. After the death of her grandmother, Valerie is finally free. She has inherited the house and now she's free to do what she wants, but there's something wrong with Valerie. She decides to take in roommates to make ends meet, but then the people that she is kind of like renting the spaces to start to appear dead. So I'm really intrigued. I'm so excited for this one, you guys. Then I asked Shelly, and she doesn't have a YouTube channel, but she's very active on Twitter and Instagram. She has the Tales Point Horror Club, where they read every month a point horror book, and then they have a live discussion on Instagram, so I will leave her socials down below. And she recommended me Cruel Summer by Juno Dawson. Now, I have only read by the author Say Her Name, which is, I mean, it was an interesting take on Bloody Mary, and I'm really excited about this one. I think this is more of a thriller than a horror, but I'm intrigued. So some friends decide to reunite in a Spanish villa after their common best friend dies by suicide, and then one of them brings up some evidence that suggests that it was not suicide but that the friend was actually murdered. So this is a psychological thriller, and I guess it's gonna be a little bit of a whodunit, because if the friend was indeed murdered, then someone is obviously responsible for this. So I am intrigued because been meaning to read more by the author, so hopefully this is one that I will enjoy. Then I asked also Aran. I really trust her opinion. She reads also a lot of really good thrillers, and I thought, you know, she's the perfect one also to recommend me something. She's called Aran Megan here in YouTube. You probably all know her. I also love her horror earrings. They're fantastic. And so she gave me a list of a couple of different options, and I decided to go with something that is a little bit more out of my comfort zone, which is Slewfoot by Brom. This is a book that I've been meaning to try, but I think it's historical fiction, and it is, I think, colonialism and something gothic or witches. Like, I don't want to, you know, spoil myself too much about the plot, but I think it's about witches. The book is supposed to be really beautiful with amazing illustrations. I've never read anything by Brom before, but I've been really tempted to grab Krampus because obvious reasons. So I thought I would give this one a chance and put myself in a more uncomfortable position reading something that is a little bit more of my element and see if I enjoy it. I also asked Hannah, and her YouTube channel is Leded M, in case you want to go and follow her. And she gave me also a book that it's a bit, I guess, out of my comfort zone, so I'm really intrigued to try this one. And that is Rizzio by Denise Mina. And as far as I understand, this is a take on a real murder that is related to Scottish history. It is about the bloody assassination of David Rizzio, which was the private secretary of the Queen Mary of Scots. So in 1566, David Rizzio was assassinated. This is something that is also very out of my comfort zone. I don't really read much of this kind of like historical fiction, so I'm really intrigued. I also asked Jason over from Jason's Weird Reads, and he has also great recommendations because he reads a lot of novellas, cosmic horror, and things that I normally don't pick up, and it helps me to see, you know, how many other options I have when it comes to horror. So he recommended The Reformatory by Tananarive Due, and this is one that I have, you know, seen around people really loving and enjoying, and other people had recommended it to me as well. So I'm kind of intrigued. I have not read anything by the author yet, even though I wanted to. So this is going to be my introduction to the author. We follow a 12-year-old that has been sentenced to 6 months at a reformatory. And I already love this. Like, I remember when I talked about this book when it was about to come out in one of my upcoming horror books videos, and the plot sounded really intriguing to me. So we have this 12-year-old boy that has been sent to this reformatory for 6 months. And Robbie, the kid that's sent to the reformatory, has also a talent, which is that he can see ghosts. And when he gets to a reformatory, he's gonna, I guess, you know, unravel some of the secrets of this place. And if he's able to talk and see ghosts, probably he's getting info, you know, intel from them. I don't know exactly what to expect, but honestly, this sounds like another take on your typical asylum kind of creepy scenario, and I'm here for it. Katrina Brown, who also has amazing recommendations and an amazing Instagram, she recommended me The Cipher by Kathy Koja, and I know this is Alex's favorite book over from the Book Booth, and I have been meaning to read this book since forever. I remember the very first time I heard Alex talking about it, I wanted to grab it, because if I follow someone and I really like their content and they mention their favorite book, I immediately need to know. So this one has been on my wish list on Amazon since the dark ages, and I finally get to read it. So I'm really excited / scared, because what if I don't like it? I guess maybe sometimes the pressure of reading someone's favorite book is what makes you not read it, because you don't want to be disappointed. I know nothing about this book. Honestly, probably I've seen people talking about it before, but right now I don't remember anything about the plot, and I want to keep it that way, because I think this is one of those books that maybe it's good not to know anything before you go into it and see what happens. So you'll see my reaction when I get to it. Then I asked Michelle as well from Michelle's Melancholia, and she recommended me The Amulet by Michael McDowell. And this is one that I've been meaning to read because it features a cursed object. So we have Sarah, and she is a wife that is going through a lot at the moment. Her husband has been injured, and it's kind of in a vegetative state at home, and she has to care for him 24/7. Plus, she has to deal with her mother-in-law that she despises. And Sarah believes that some of the things that have been happening around her and around town are all tied to an amulet. possibly cursed. We shall see, but this is one that I'm excited about because I do like the trope of cursed objects. The next recommendation comes from Nika. Her channel is Nika's Hideaway, and she recommended me 12 Nights at Rotherhouse by J.W. Ocker, and it is a book that I've seen her mention before, and I did add it to my wish list, but I still haven't got to it. But I am excited and also a little bit scared to read this one and see if I loved it as much as she did. It's about someone that travels and visits and writes about haunted places, and that already sounds quite intriguing as well as atmospheric. He convinces the owner of the Rotterdam mansion to let him stay there, and I'm guessing he's gonna make some gruesome discoveries while he spends his time in the place. Our next YouTuber is Olivia over at Olivia's Catastrophe, and she recommended me a book that I've also seen before and I am intrigued. It is The Pale House Devil by Richard Kadri. I think it sounds really interesting that we have like two detectives that are kind of working together, but one of them is alive and the other one is not. So is he a spirit? What's going on? And they're trying to get rid of some kind of cosmic monster. This just sounds like a trip, and I'm kind of intrigued to know what's going on in this place. I also asked Sharon, and you've probably seen her on my lives as well, and she always reads so many interesting indie published horror, so I asked her also for her recommendation. She recommended The Miracle Sin by Marcus Hawk. I think this book is going to be really interesting to me because I believe it deals with what are we made for, if there's something bigger than life, if there's something so as destiny, and all of these kind of more psychological things. And I love when a horror book delves deeper into our psyche and what the meaning of life is, our purpose here in this earth and all of that. So, and coming from Sharon, she knows my taste because we have the same kind of disturbing taste. We are not okay. So yeah, this is one of the ones that I am, I guess, the most intrigued about because I feel like she knows my taste. And the last recommendation comes from Slime and Slashers. If you don't follow her channel, do so please. It's beautiful also for people that love nostalgia in the 90s. She makes so much amazing content about that. She has a wonderful book collection and also a horror t-shirt collection. So head over there and give her some love as well. And she recommended a book to me that sounds bonkers, but the cover is fantastic and I am so excited to try this. It's called Knelfs by Cindy Williams, and this just sounds crazy. It's about television's most popular cartoons called the Knelfs, and I guess they go rogue. They have charmed a generation of children, but the 4-year-old that we have in our book has discovered that they might actually be killers now. And I don't know, this just sounds bonkers and fun. And based on the cover, I really need this book. Also, Evil Toys, yes please. So you guys, these were the 12 books recommended by 12 friends that I am hoping to read in 2024 and hopefully enjoy. I don't want any friendships to end because of this, but I'm always going to be honest about my thoughts on the books. I will probably do this in vlog style and let you guys know how I am enjoying the books and my end like rating for the books, but I will be doing this through the year and update you guys on how the progress is going. Pray for me. I thought this was a fun idea to get book recommendations and read things that are not something I would pick for myself, or things that are a little bit out of my comfort zone, things maybe I'm unsure about, but if someone recommends it, then I will give it a chance. I don't know, I thought it was a fun idea, so hope you guys think it's also fun. And yeah, let me know which book would you recommend me if you could give me a book recommendation. Let's talk about it in the comments down below. Thank you guys as always so much for watching, and I hope to see you all as always in our next coffee time. Bye!